All right. After some technical adventures, we're good to go, I hope. So, just as usual, let me know if you can hear and see me well on chat. And we're going to start. Excuse me. So, after some break, we get back to streaming. So, this coming 2 weeks, I'm going to go live with Banters. So, on Tuesday and on Thursday. And starting from the next month, I think we'll just get back to normal flow with training Tuesday as well. All right. So I'm really happy you joined the show. Let me check if we already have some challenges. Yes, we do have. Let's start with someone I've never played before. Of course, if we have such a challenge here. Not sure. There should be someone. Okay. Yeah, there is one challenger. Let's accept. And we're playing with white pieces. Let's go. Wow, 2794 is my rating. So I've lost all the points. Stream is fine, says Giovanni. Thanks a lot. So we have to get back to normal gradually, right? Which means 30 hundreds. For now, though, it's okay just to get back to 2800s. So we're lower than that even. It's not good. Okay, so Ruy Lopez. The sideline with the D3. However, it's not so simple to tell which line is the main one nowadays. Because there are so many games played in Ruy Lopez. Throughout the history of this opening. And this D3 is definitely one of the popular choices among top players nowadays. So, as I said, it's really hard to say which line is the main one, which one is a sideline. Okay, just a5, not knight a5, nothing like, I don't know, capturing d5. Capturing d5 was probably not good, but knight a5 was interesting. Okay, so in this case, we can simply take the bishop and play with a pair of bishops. I mean, I don't see a big problem with this plan. Super straightforward and simple, but we have very good setup, in my opinion, as white. So if g5, maybe I will just take on g5, you know. Doesn't feel like there's an option for black. For now, I can even prevent it. So bishop on h4 is protected. There is no knight takes e4. And if g5, I just take with the knight, and after hg5, I take with the queen. Okay, bishop goes to c8. We can even play some like bishop d5 now. Stopping the bishop from going somewhere to g4, maybe to e6. e6 was probably planned. No, black anyway wants to play bishop e6, I guess. So what should we do here? Maybe something like c3, but then bishop e6, and black kind of solves the problems. Maybe d4 now. Makes no sense. Knight takes d4, probably. Yeah, it's not so simple to get anything here. So bishop c4. Rook just goes away somewhere. Now c3. Yeah, c3 looks interesting, but then again, b takes. And if pawn takes, then bishop e6. I don't see much. So maybe just d4 then, indeed. Now let's try this move. I mean, I'm not sure it's the best one, but does it create some pressure, I suppose. Question on Twitch, did you get a haircut? Well, some time ago, yeah. Alright, what to do now? I mean, we can take on e5, obviously, but After d takes c5, probably we have some ideas after queen d3. Okay, knight takes. Probably simplifies our tasks here. Queen takes c5, maybe f4 now. Just, yeah, playing aggressively. Maybe f3 first, forcing the bishop somewhere, then f4. Let's see a big difference there, either. Now probably we'll play f4 right now. So the idea is to try to damage the pawn structure. If queen goes away from the knight, we can just take with the bishop, and pawns are very bad. So if queen gets back to e7, then I think our play was justified, because we still have pair of bishops. We have quite aggressive setup here in the center. Black is kind of passive here, so I mean, rook on a6 is definitely misplaced. I'm not even going to touch it for now. I mean, I'm satisfied with that rook. Let it be there. Should be careful about knight e4 though. So if we play rook e1, is there a knight takes e4? So if knight takes c4, bishop takes c7, knight takes d2, we can play rook f2, knight is trapped, rook is hanging there. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely good for white to play something like this. Bishop e6. Now, I'm wondering if I can play something like e5. It looks very tempting to play that. D takes c5, f takes c5, bishop d5, e takes f6 with the tempo, then queen c5 check. Not that clear. Okay, we shouldn't be in a rush here, I guess. So we can do what? Taking on the e6 is definitely not good for me. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm probably missing something there in the e5 line, but after queen d4, I have some pressure against f6, additional one. And yeah, for example, now I can't do something like this, right? Yeah, this looks good for white. But the situation on my clock looks terrible. So we have to play much faster now. My opponent gives me great chances here. I mean, I don't have to think a lot now. Yeah, and resignation is just on time. I think after rook e8, black still had some chances to flag me, but yeah, obviously white's position is already winning. So here after bishop e6, I believe queen takes c6 was the last chance for black to avoid real trouble. Although black's position, as I said before, looks not so good. Yeah, so I can try different things here, including a simple capture in f6, let's say, just damaging the pawn structure and playing against black's weaknesses, numerous ones, h6, f6, d6. I can probably focus on this d6 right now and so on. Let's get back to this moment. I was wondering if I can play e5 immediately. I mean, if black takes on d5 immediately, then everything is clear. Just take on f6, attacking queen twice with the rook and with the pawn, and then bishop will be captured, right? What I think black could have done is this: f takes c4, d takes c5, a e5, and then bishop takes d5. And it's already a bit different because there is queen c5 check, right? So e takes f6, queen c5 check, protecting the bishop. And I was not sure that it will be winning for white. I was not even sure if it is better for white. So yeah, I have this tempo move, then queen goes to c6, let's say. So what's next? Taking on g7. Yeah, looks dangerous for black indeed, but again, having not so much time on my clock, I was not sure if this is better than just keeping that pressure that I had already. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something here, but yeah, I didn't see anything specific in this particular line. Now, probably black could have improved his or her play. Instead of taking on d5 with the knight, just taking with the pawn. In which case, as we can see, I still have to solve the problem of my knight f3 here. So I wanted to play something like this, attacking the rook. But then after rook b6, what's next? So at very least, black wants to take on f3 and then play knight e4 and then play c6, getting rid of my bishop on d5. Another threat after bishop f3, by the way, is to play g5. So for example, if I do nothing here and play something like this, and bishop f3, queen f3, it's possible to do something like g5, because there is no sacrifice on g5 anymore. And after bishop to g3, the knight may jump to d4. This knight may take my Spanish bishop. So probably black can combine this like this. Knight e4 first, then knight e5, takes d5. I think black is at very least not worse here, maybe even better already. After some, I don't know, accurate moves. Maybe again, maybe I overestimate black's position, but it definitely looked a bit annoying to me, so I was afraid of this d takes e5. So I don't think I can do anything with his pawn on e5, so bishop c6, just rook c6, everything is protected. Yeah, so it's like still playable and quite interesting position for black, even though I thought I was already better, but all right. So let's have a look. What is next? So is there anyone else I've never played before? And answering the question from Twitch or YouTube, I don't remember, where it was originally posted, I do play against premium users only. So that's the rule. All right, so all the guys I've played before. Here is one I've never played, except. So the thing is, I play 3 games usually at the beginning of the show against guys I've never played before, and then I come back to normal order of challenges and just play one by one. Okay, e4, e5. So normally I play Rui Lopez with both colors, like, yeah. Like the one who wants to learn more and more about this opening because it's never enough. But this time I want to play Philidor. The open Philidor. To be more specific, the Antoshin system with the bishop e7. So bishop e3 isn't great, so bishop f4 is the main move. Knight g4 immediately doesn't give me anything, so I will just castle first. If I play knight g4 immediately, then bishop f4, I suppose, but okay. And after he weakens the position, I think I can play d5 right away. I can also play knight c6 first. I don't know what is better here. Well, let's start with the knight to c6. I guess I can play d5 later. Just wanted to control e5 square before playing d5. Bishop b5. Strange mix, to be honest. Very strange mix. Probably white doesn't even want to castle long here, but bishop e3 followed by f3 looks like an intention, a clear intention of castling long, but who knows. Okay, now I think it's time to focus on d5 move. Maybe we can play it right now. No, I don't think so. So taking on c6 will win a lot. So we can play knight e4, bishop d4, then c6, bishop goes away, then d5. This is something that comes to my mind. It's probably not that bad. Just fighting for central squares. If bishop goes to c4, we can also think of playing b5, b4 first, kicking that knight away from the center, and then d5. If the knight is no longer in c3, we can even think of playing c5 first, and then d5. So white should be careful here already, because black is castled, white is not. So potentially dangerous for white, especially if the center is being open. I guess d5 is possible right away without even playing knight to c6. Because if white plays e5, let's say, then okay, knight goes back to e8, and then at some point c5, d4, stuff like that. Now, if we play d5, e5, and knight goes somewhere, there should be a threat of playing c5 and d4 then, right? That's why this position should be okay for black. So, my previous opponent says, "Hi Andrey, thanks a lot for your analysis. I am Michael, I guess, right? You're from Germany." So, yeah, thank you for playing it. It was quite resourceful. All right, white didn't even play e5. I'm really wondering why. Now we can just take on e4, grabbing a bishop. And you know how I love bishops, especially in the position which is not closed. So my pair of bishops should be a factor here, an important one, honestly. So let's bring the bishop to f5 for now. Just targeting the knight. Continuing the development, the idea is probably just to occupy D and E files with heavy pieces. By the way, here we can think of just taking on e4. Should be a slight advantage for black, I guess, because of the pawn structure. Should I do that? Well, why not? All right, queen g4. We can prevent it with this move, right? Queen d7. Moreover, I want to bring my queen to e6, so it's the part of the plan. And as I said, it's against this queen g4 move, attacking my g7. Queen goes to b3. That is probably something I underestimated. So I want to have a good spot for my queen here. I want to occupy light square specifically. E-file should be somehow free of pieces so that I can attack e4. It's not exactly what I wanted to do, but I think I need it. So I just play c5 and then queen to c6. So queen is still on the light square, attacking e4. The problem is my pawn is on the dark square, which means my bishop is somewhat limited. That's what I wanted to avoid, actually, but I failed. All right, what about queen d5, e5, and c4? Probably not enough to attack d5 then. Yeah, I have misplayed it. I have misplayed it, unfortunately. Okay, let's try this move. Attacking b2. Problem that says too slow. Yeah, indeed. I have only 1 minute. I have to play faster. Otherwise, I will be flagged. All right, rook d8 now. Getting rid of that queen. Now back to c6, attacking e4. Another tempo move. So now we'll have a chance to play c4, I guess. Finally getting the correct pawn structure. Dark square bishop, pawns on light squares. Simple. Okay, a6. Maybe I could have played bishop c5, but I want to keep my bishop on the board for now. For some time, just to see how that works. Now I understand that, yeah, it's probably forced. Otherwise, this bishop will be quite good on d4. I misplayed it twice here in this game. Okay. Let's do at least something. "46 seconds. E4 is under attack. It's my target. Let's blockade everything here to make sure the pawns don't go any further. Just rook e8 attacking e4. Probably b5 would be played, so let's remove it. It's important not to blunder a checkmate. So let's make sure there will be no checkmate on the back rank. At least in the near future. Now, can we play f5? That's a good question. It's super risky. Now rook gets to a7. Now it's too much. So let's just play this move. Tempo move. But I'm not getting any further. So probably I should get back here. Maybe simplify a bit like this. Yeah. Oh God. This is strong. I missed that entirely. God. Damn it! Yeah, I'm busted here. Shit. Okay, I'm completely lost here. Oh my goodness, okay. So I should have resigned, of course. How come I got to this lost position out of such a good opening? I mean, in the opening, white failed to demonstrate anything. So, like, maybe bishop takes c4 was a bit premature. Maybe it was better for me just to keep both bishops and, I don't know, put my queen on a5, rook on d8 and stuff. Yeah, but takes, queen d7, queen there, c5. That was not correct. That was definitely a bad idea. So what should black do instead here? The main problem is this bishop, right? So it's really annoying. It's very active. Black wants to get rid of it somehow. At the same time, black wants to attack the pawn on e4 using the e-file. So the regrouping is needed here badly. But what kind of regrouping, I have no idea. So c5, yeah, looked more or less okay. Here, maybe c4 was a mistake. Maybe I underestimated the d4 square. Well, at least after c4 and queen c2, I should have played this move, right? Immediately preventing bishop d4. That was probably my main mistake. And in this case, if there is something like this, well, I'm perfectly fine with this. Black's advantage here, if it exists, is still very small, because of this pawn on e4. Maybe some slight space advantage on the queen side. It's still small, but it's a risk-free stuff, right? What I have played appeared to be also playable, but I think d5 was not correct, so white could have regrouped here somehow in a slightly better way, and yeah, white would have had much better position that white finally got. Maybe here again, I didn't even look at b4. Maybe that was better, just keeping a file closed. I don't know, maybe somewhere later I just lost my chances completely. Maybe g6 was not the correct way to give some room to my king. Maybe here again f5 was a good move. So lots of questions here, but you know, yeah, I definitely misplayed it, and kudos to my opponent. So that was absolutely correct. Yeah, there's d6. Shit. Symptomatic. So I lost my blockading position. I was punished for it. Instead of playing this, by the way, I mean, this queen b4, I could have tried queen h4. Similar idea, just to attack the rook and the pawn on e4. But I wasn't sure what to do after g3, let's say. So rook e4 doesn't work. G takes h4 simply. Yeah, I mean, this is no longer clear, all right? f6 was probably necessary. Yeah, maybe f6 was a better way to play it. That's right, prom knight. That's correct. Okay. Let us continue. So, one more opponent I've never ever played before, and then we just get back to normal order of challenges. And 3-minute game. Okay, this is a real challenge now. As you can see, I'm very slow. I'm much further from 2800s, the task minimum for this night. Yeah. And I'm not necessarily in a very bad shape, actually, so I've been playing some Blitz recently, and I'm quite successful on other servers, to be honest. So I'm getting back to my highest ratings there. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe just a bad day. Because it can be. Okay, so that's the move here. Let's just step back with the bishop. And let's castle, finally. So, slow Italian here. Slow Italian. We can get the slide script bishop if we want. We can play d5 right now, or maybe we cannot. I don't know. So let's start with queen d7, just in case. White wants to take on b7. I'm not against. So just rook b8, trapping the queen. Now we can take with the queen. If we take with the rook, there is queen b7, which is not entirely clear. You can take with the pawn, but when the rook is on the 8, it doesn't make sense. So I'll just take with the queen, which is also not clear after queen takes b7. Come on. Yeah, my shape is super bad. All right, so we'll just play for counterattack. During this break, I have probably forgotten how to do Banter Blitz, how to, you know, play and command simultaneously. Oh, dear. Let's go d5 immediately. Let's just go this way. I mean, again, probably not the best one. But our task now is just to play for some tricks. Because we don't have anything better than this. We're just a pawn down. Yeah, we have some pressure, but I don't quite believe in it. Okay, let's relocate the knight. I can see a target on d3, so maybe we can do something with this. Like knight to c5, attacking d3, attacking b3 square, and so on. Probably white could have played it better. Because now there are some problems because I control more space. And I have some targets while white is just suffering here, struggling to complete a development. For example, now what to do with the d3 pawn. The question. Knight to b3 is another possibility here. Okay, let's just take on d3 here. I think white's position is collapsing now. Like this. Let's take there. Let's take there. Just collecting stuff here. Okay. All right, 2 extra exchanges. Nice, I think, and absolutely winning situation on the clock. All right, so I lost the pawn on b7 and somehow managed to, you know, get some activity for it. So their Henker says ed4 somewhat unexpected to me with that bishop on a7. But if I take with the knight, white takes with the knight, and I still have to kind of take with the pawn, so it's the same. Yeah. So probably here I should have just captured on c4, and as far as I remember, that's the main line. Here's and then knight takes. There is something like queen d7 here. So now if queen b7, now rook b8, exactly. So white plays something like that, probably. Again, I don't remember. Black tries to do something like d5, maybe here, maybe a bit later. Yeah, but, you know, to play it correctly, you should repeat the theory from time to time. So, especially the theory of such an opening line where everything is based on very subtle differences between, you know, at first glance, very similar moves. So, as you can see, I just changed the order of moves, and here we go. After bishop takes c6, not to lose a pawn, I have to take with the pawn, which is already kind of, well, at least not very logical. When you have the rook there and you take with the pawn, of course you can go back to f8, no problems after all. But yeah, usually if you have a piece like queen or rook supporting the bishop, you already want to avoid you know, doubling your pawns and so on. Okay, stereotype, of course, but all right. Nevertheless, let's continue. So now we just get back to normal order of challenges, and here is Onem. The first one, I'm playing with black. Onem, you're welcome. Come on. I'll be waiting for several seconds more, and then I'll just abort the game and start another one. Okay. So probably the same. I don't think that Onem is changing his repertoire somehow. So we'll get the close Catalan. Here we go. Yeah. So the knight is on c3, which means we should be able to play bishop a6, but I'm not sure that it's possible right now. Again, let's calculate. If knight f goes to d7, it's almost always the same thing. So knight f goes to d7, c takes d5. If c takes d5, then knight takes d5, e d5, bishop d5, knight takes e5, d takes e5. I have a problem with the rook hanging there. So knight f d7, c d5, knight takes e5, d6, bishop d6, d5, bishop e5. I have extra pawn, actually. All right, so knight f d7, c d5, knight e5, d5, c d5, e4. Okay, then d4. Yeah, so I think I can do it. Sort of. No, I couldn't do this, actually. Yeah, again, a very good sign of a bad shape, because, yeah, when you're in a good shape and you forget some theory, for example, you try to recalculate everything, you're actually calculating the right way. So what I missed is cd5, knight takes e5, d takes e5, c takes d5, knight takes d5 after that, e d5, bishop d5, again winning the material. Ah, good. So white could have captured on d5 with great results. Instead, white gave me a chance to simplify the things in a very good way. So I believe black has no problems anymore. Yeah, I think position is equal already. Maybe with some slight pressure, but no, not really. Okay, that's a 6 or 97. 97 is kind of slightly more accurate, I think. Avoiding tactics like knight takes d5 and other things. Okay. What I was always hoping to try here is something like bishop c4, b3, b5. But after queen to a6, I don't see how to actually save my bishop there. So probably my opponent has outplayed me here. So bishop c4, b3, b5, queen a6, b4, b takes c4, b takes c3 is better for white for sure. Nah. God damn it. Okay, let's get back. Correct. Not necessarily a big deal. So knight can get to c7, but then what? I'm not sure the knight is doing much there. That's quite limited. So, and in this case, I just play queen d7, right? Yeah, just play queen d7, the knight is hanging. And if the knight goes to c3, I just take on c7, I guess. So bishop c7 is tempting, but probably a wrong move. So knight c3, queen c7, knight e5. Maybe I cannot take on c7. So let's see. Queen c7, knight e5, attacking the queen and the bishop. And if I go like queen to d8, then knight takes f6, bishop f6, and bishop takes b7. Oh my god. That's annoying. I thought I would take that bishop. Okay. I will not. So let's play b5. So this game is being played with the increment, so the fact I have 28 seconds is a bit annoying, but not that bad in general. So every move brings me 2 more seconds, I want to believe. Okay. Bishop is under attack now. Knight goes to b1. Okay. Let's simply be active here. Free bishop. It wasn't free. Knight d5. We'll discuss it after the game. Maybe I missed something, I don't know, but I think I calculated the line where white just easily regains the piece and gets even the extra pawn or something. This is definitely free pawn. And the second one. Should I play this? Not sure. Let's start with this move. Just a simplification. We have 2 extra pawns, come on. Should be just good enough. Alright, so let's get to that moment where after bishop to c7, I played queen d7. After knight to c3, it looked like I could take the bishop, but then knight takes d5. Attacking the queen and the bishop on e7 and the knight on f6. Unfortunately, knight takes d5 doesn't work. Would be nice to have the rook and 2 minor pieces, but one of the minor pieces drops here. So this doesn't work. If queen goes to c1, there is an intermediate capture on e7, then rook takes c1. White is winning here again. So after knight d5, I have to go away with the queen somehow, protecting the bishop, right? And the problem is I cannot actually stay in the 7th rank still, you know, protecting my bishop. So if I go to d8, there is knight f6 check. Not knight e7, but knight f6. After bishop f6, bishop takes b7. Regaining the piece and have an extra pawn technically right now. And rook on a8 is hanging. So doesn't work. And queen d6 I think is just the same. So takes there. Maybe slightly better version for black, but again, it doesn't work for black simply. So bishop cannot be captured here. That's why I played b5. And if now queen goes to say c2, I can take the bishop easily. And if queen goes to d1, I'm wondering if there is something new to this position. Yeah, so indeed, because after this move I can go to d7. Right, with the queen on a4, it was impossible because of queen d7, knight e7, and knight takes e7, then bishop takes b7, simply winning immediately. Now it's possible. The question is what's happening after knight to b6, because now knight f6 makes no sense. Bishop is protected. There's just this move, in which case, at very least, I can play queen d8. And after bishop b7, queen b6, and bishop a8, I have 2 minor pieces for the rook and the pawn, which is a good result, I would say. And if knight takes a8, then just takes there and takes with the queen. Yeah, so b5 was interesting. b5 was interesting. Try to actually win that bishop or win some material. After queen a5, of course, I don't win it. But I think I have an absolutely normal position here. Yeah, my bishop on b7 is not very good, but who cares? I have other targets here. And at some point I can play b4, so you can find this pawn structure quite often in closed Catalan, so it's not a big deal, actually. All right, let's continue. The next is Olaf. Accept. I'm playing with black pieces, so it's probably exclusively the evening of games with black. There was a comment on YouTube, what about rook c7? You mean after queen d7 in the last line? Yeah, probably I missed that one. In that case, I can... No, after rook c7, I can take on d5 in that line. I can take on d5 with the bishop, let's say, and after rook d7, knight d7, I have rook and 2 minor pieces for a queen. Okay. So it does work for black anyway. So what do we have here? We have, again, the same order of moves, almost the same order of moves like in the previous game. So we start with the Queen's Indian defense, But if g3, we opt for this c6, and we get closed Catalan. No, after knight c3, we play d5. So Olaf decided to repeat. Just, yeah, very smart, taking into account that I blundered in the previous game. So I didn't show you that after the game, but after knight after d7, cd5 was probably just winning for white. Okay. But here we have another thing, another position. Let's try to play it normally, not like patzers. I wonder if I can simply put my bishop here. I mean, it's probably strange since I have a6 square, but on a6 it's quite vulnerable usually. And just want to try something like this first. Let's clarify the things with the bishop. So I probably wanted to do that. No, bishop to f4. Okay. That is something interesting. Your flag shows you're from Germany, but your accent sounds Dutch. Well, I'm not a native speaker, and originally I'm from Ukraine. So knight to e4 takes, and then g5, something like that comes to mind, but it's probably too much. Let's just play knight a5. I mean, the idea being, if knight goes to e5, I can play g7, g5. For knight d7, knight d7, I think it's interesting. Let's just do it. So bishop is kind of trapped, so knight d7 is forced. Right. Now I take with the knight, and if bishop goes to e5, I just capture it immediately. Why did I do that? I could have played f6, trapping it instead. What an idiot I am tonight. I just, you know, I've seen this line with the knight c4 attacking b2 and e5, but come on, just play f6 and trap it. What a stupid player, Andrey Ostrovskiy. Ay, ay, ay. Native Dutch speaker? No, I'm not native Dutch speaker. I'm native Russian and Ukrainian speaker, my friend. I told you, I'm coming from Ukraine. It's really hard to be a native Dutch speaker if you're coming from Ukraine. I mean, it's possible technically, but highly unlikely. So, knight takes e5. The prom knight says, I thought f6. Yeah, I also thought I would be playing better than I do actually. No interaction with the chat tonight. Let me win. There is interaction. It makes no sense because I'm just playing super bad chess. Alright, let's get back to c4, intending to take on e3. So Groningen says, if you see a good move, wait and find something better. That's true. For a tournament game. For a Blitz game where, you know, I lose on time too often. If you see a good move, just make it. That's the rule. The thing is, for some reason, I'm seeing just bad moves tonight. That's it. Now I can play g4. Rook goes away, and then I take on e3. That should be fine. Let's do it. Takes with the knight, protecting g4 at the same time. I'm creating two threats. Not only knight takes f1, another one is knight g2. Probably it's not even a threat, actually. Yeah, knight g2 just king g2. So after b4, I think I have to make this move. Oh, probably I missed something already. Right, let's take this way then. If knight takes f1, I mean knight takes d4 and my knight is trapped there. I'm missing something really simple. So it was bad for me to take the rook. But in this case, I just go away with the bishop. And that knight may be trapped. Maybe not, I don't know anymore. Because I've blundered so many things tonight. I'm really not sure, but anyway, my position is better because I have extra pawn, right? No longer. Or maybe still. Yeah. No. What a patter. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was already absolutely winning, and now position is again unclear. Yeah, very generous tonight, giving my opponents so many chances. Okay, so rook to c3, I suppose. Just attacking a3. If f5, then e5. Okay, so this knight is kind of annoying. Have to attack it somehow. Maybe queen d8. Queen d8, queen e8, or queen d8, queen d7 was an idea to try to trap it. Of course, after f5 and e5, I have other plans. Now let's just bring our pawns to motion. Okay. Knight e8 can be very annoying if I take on a3, so let's keep the rook on the back rank here. This knight is super tricky. Probably I should just, yeah, move my king away at some point to make my bishop more efficient. So just pick. Yeah, nice. Yeah, now I feel very comfortable. Yeah. I won the game. All right. All right. So let's get back to the moment. Yeah, critical moment. So here, just play f6. Game over. I mean, yeah, I can take on d5 and perform some tricks, but the bishop is trapped. That's the fact. That's the fact. If queen h5, then king g7. Or alternatively, this move. This is, no, h6 is hanging. I keep on blundering. So king g7 is the right move here. Yeah, I don't see a follow-up. Bishop has no squares. Should be good, right? Instead, I captured on e5 position, got tricky. Still better for black, I believe. But yeah, for example, here, not sure what's happening if f takes g5, knight e3, and some sort of sacrifice. Maybe g takes h6, sacrifice in exchange. After this move, why didn't I capture an e3 immediately? I have no idea. Moreover, I told you guys that knight c4 attacking e3. Well, I've seen that move. For some reason, I didn't capture it. Well, so too many questions to the quality of my chats here. As for white, when everything went bad, well, probably after bishop f4. So if you played bishop g5 and e3, this usually means you want to take on f6. So you want to get rid of that bishop, and as you can see, your pawns compensate missing dark squared 1, which means my dark squared bishop is not that active. Yes, I have pair of bishops, but the position is closed. So I mean, that is what you usually do when you play bishop g5. All right. Okay. Okay. Let us continue. The next one is prom night, except last time I lost, right? I blundered checkmate in one at some point. So yeah, it would be nice to win this game. For God's sake. Let's undermine that pawn. Opponent disconnected. No. Everything's fine. Opponent disconnected again. God damn it, prom night, what's going on? Let's jump there and ask the bishop the same question as I asked the prom night. God damn it, what's going on? Bishop e2, bishop a6 is blind. The point is, if we get rid of the light squared bishop, there is no real attack, I guess. I might be wrong, of course, but the absence of that piece on the board will definitely slow down white's attack. So bishop a6, takes, knight c6, queen d7, knight e7, queen e7. Looks solid. But what if, after bishop a6, white plays knight to c6 first? Then we can play queen d7, and if knight b4, bishop takes, queen takes, c takes b4. Also looks pretty good for me. Okay, let's try. Let's try it. Aha. Interesting. All right. I have no choice here. Yep. What can I do? Minor piece down. Minor piece down. I can try bishop c5 though, but and then take on e3. Still bad for black. Still bad for black. Yeah. Very bad, actually. Great. A3 was a nice resource. Actually, I've probably tried opposite order of moves, like to take on c2, but then bishop a6, knight a1, queen a1. Yeah, I was too optimistic to jump like that. Knight b4, bishop a6. Oh shit. Okay. So we're minor piece down for 3 pawns, but they're not connected. Now our queen is kind of trapped. Or something, I don't know. What's happening? What is happening here? Tell me. It's bishop c5, probably. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, 3 pawns are here. So I hope that the conversion will be not so simple for white here. In our previous game, I had absolutely winning position, and then I missed a checkmate in one. So maybe this game will be the opposite. So I will have a lost position and then find a trick to win the game. We will see. So let's jump there. Who knows, maybe we'll increase our compensation. Like 4 pawns. The more the better, right? Bishop f4, what about this move? They want to be super greedy, but in such a situation, indeed, the more the better. So let's grab all the pawns it's possible to grab. Let's take there. Now I'm fine with simplification because I don't think that white has real chances to win it. Not anymore. So I have too many pawns. I just have too many pawns here. We can even exchange all the rooks. I think it will be fine. Rook c8, knight e5. That's an important thing. So I shouldn't blunder that. But at the same time, we have nice spot on c4. So let's probably relocate there. Yeah. Looks very good. Nice. Is it time? Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I'll take that one. I will take that one. Yeah, very good position. Very, very good position for black. So many pawns. They walk in line, they walk in line, they walk in line, they walk in line. Okay, let's just protect everything here. E3. Converting the advantage now. So 2 extra pawns in the rook ending. Should be good. Technique. Yeah, in this game, everything was fine. So what happened? Well, I just won the game being a minor piece down. That is what happened. Of course, this position is no longer simple to evaluate. But here, I guess, yeah, it was absolutely, maybe not absolutely, but really close to absolutely a lost position. For example, why not b4? Ah, okay, bishop takes b4, knight c6 I can take there. still then bishop takes f6, something like this. Well, actually, after knight c6, they move the white played and queen here. It's probably possible, right? Just to take that one. And then I don't know, because this is still not so simple, right? Well, I have no idea. I think, so there is a comment on Twitch, knight f3 was a mistake. He could have played rook a1 immediately. At which moment, let's have a look. So bishop c5. Knight to c6. a5, there. Yeah, knight to f3 was indeed a mistake. But after rook to a1, I mean, I can take on d2, right? And after that move, knight e4. So it was also not an option. It was also not an option for white. Of course, bishop b4 is possible, in which case I can, by the way, play a5, right? Yeah, so bishop b4 doesn't even help. So that is the answer to the comment on Twitch. So rook a1 immediately was not correct. No, this position is not so simple anymore. It's not so simple. I have no idea. Was there an improvement somewhere here? Don't know. Somewhere here. I mean, this position looks very, very tempting for white. Very, rich, I would say. So something should be somehow connected with the weakness of dark squares. Wait a sec. What if knight c6, queen d6, and queen to g3? Simple move. Like attacking the knight. If knight goes away, there is a checkmate or something very close to it. Is there a good defense for black in this case? Bishop c5. Universal tool, right? Pinning the bishop. No, in this case it doesn't work. It just takes and takes f6. This is definitely lost. So it doesn't work. What to do then? Maybe queen g3 was correct. Something terrible like queen knight h5. Hard to believe. Just queen g5. g6. Shit. It can't be correct. Maybe something like before here. Yeah, it should be winning for white. Should be winning for white somehow. All right. So that was a revenge. Because, yeah, last time we played, I was absolutely winning and then I missed a checkmate in one at some point. All right, let's continue. Russell, 4 minutes. Interesting. And custom, what does it mean? I have no idea. Let's accept and see. The pieces are in normal positions, so. Okay, so again, the Philidor attempt was the only game tonight I lost. It was in Philidor. White is also playing Philidor, by the way. So, whose Philidor is better? Blacks or whites? Let's see. So I'm getting first to active operations. Am I ready? I don't know. Should be okay. Let's remove this. No. ED5 was played. Interesting stuff. So now let's just take with the queen. Why not? H takes g5 is also interesting, like a gambit style, because after hg5 d takes c6, white is a pawn up. I believe, but pair of bishops and some tactics there. I don't know. Didn't see anything concrete. That's why I decided to play just normal. Queen takes d5. Should I keep my queen on d5 here, though? That's a good question. I'm not sure that there is much work for it, but let's see. Let's keep on developing pieces. If it's really needed, I can just move it somewhere and then play knight to d5 a bit later. For now, I just want to try this d3 pawn. Okay. What the knight h4 is doing there? It's a good question. g5 is coming. Feels like white is just wasting time here. Playing this knight h4, bishop f3, because everything will just go back now, I believe. Or white will start something like bishop takes c6, which is anti-positional. So since white played bishop f3 and bishop e2, just a clear loss of time, feels like I just moved my queen away and then made another move. Similarly, knight to f5 was that move. So, okay, g5 now, knight f3 and f5. Looks interesting, but, you know, when I see a bishop, I just grab it, giving my opponent no chance to change the order of things. Can I take on d4 here? Well, yes, I can. And now with the queen, check, check, grabs b2. And the knight doesn't have d2, c3, or a3 squares because all of them are under control. Simple tactics and the style of beginners. How many pawns do we have? Like 3, right? 3 extra pawns should be enough. Should be good enough to win the game. a2 can be also captured. I don't know. Let's just start pushing pawns towards correct squares. My technique is terrible, but not that terrible. Not to win this position. By the way, rook f6 was possible here, but then, of course, bishop d5 or something still. Absolutely winning position. Okay. There's nothing to comment, so I think, in general, white's approach was quite passive, and this knight h4 followed by bishop f3 was absolutely incorrect. That was the main mistake. Because, like, bishop e6, bishop f3, queen d7, I think you got it immediately after you played bishop f3, so your knight is just out of play. Doesn't have any object of attack here, so it has to go back to f3 for that. You have to either go away with the bishop, probably back to e2, which means wasting time, or take my knight on c6, which I think was slightly better in this particular case than bishop to e2. But nevertheless, I mean, black is having a pair of bishops, and like, yeah, no problems whatsoever in the center, just controlling everything. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, next one is ham sandwich. 3 plus 2, accept. And white pieces. Finally. And something sharp, I guess. Maybe not, maybe black will just play e5 and then there will be no sharp play at all. No, black plays nice stuff. So we can see some attacking chess here. So, interesting if black captures on d4 and I take on d4, it's like an torsion system, but with the knight on d7, which is not very typical, which gives black no chance to play something like early d5, I would say, because there is no coordination. Queen doesn't control that square. So let's try something interesting here, like g4, g5 maybe. And of course, if my opponent gives me a chance to do that. For now, let's just castle. Now f5 looks like a target, so it would be nice to play knight g3, knight f5, maybe. Yeah, why not? Okay. So there is a shred of knight c4. Knight to g3 prevents it, because my bishop now controls c4. I suppose that black should have played some like b7, b5, and then knight to b6. The way black plays it, it's too academic and not really in the spirit of this position, I think. Okay, now what? Bishop h6, e4. So let's just play h4. What about d5 now? No, it will not work. It will not work again. It's not that position where it works. Or maybe it is, I don't know. What if we play g5 now? hg5, hg5, rook takes h1. We have g takes f6, by the way. Intermediate capture. Rook takes f1 there. Yeah, we take on f1. Bishop takes f6 and we have nothing. So g5 takes, rook h1, knight takes h1. Yeah, hard to say. Maybe I have nothing here in this position at all. Right, d5, cd5, knight to b5, another interesting trick. Don't see much. All right, let's try this one. But I have a bad feeling about this decision. So there is a common free pawn on h6. It's not a free pawn, ed4. Deflects my queen. So the pawn is regained immediately. I mean, yes, I'm bad, but I'm not so bad to miss the bishop h6 move. d5 now. e5. cd5, ed5, sorry, bishop f5, knight g3, grabbing the bishop. So I think instead of knight e7, knight to h5 was better. Just keeping my knight on h1. Controlling a g3, controlling f4, which is probably even more important in this particular case. So now after cd5, which I think is just forced, right? So I don't understand what black is thinking of. So knight g3, okay, knight to c4 is possible. God damn it. Should we include knight b5 then? So knight b5, queen to c8, then knight to g3. Starts looking risky. Now, let's just do it. Not the best version of what we could get here, but definitely not the worst one. All right. If black doesn't play knight c4, I'm just better. Okay, so there is no compensation. Now knight b5 looks just killing, right? Because I don't see where the queen goes. To b8, the only move. And I'm going to c3. Yeah, it's a game over. It's a game over. All right, this is very generous. So I expected something like knight to c5 actually here. And it's also lost, so I thought I would play either bishop h3. I know that b4 is probably interesting, but bishop h3 creates sort of bishop f5. So let's say a6, bishop takes f5, knight to d7, probably the only move. And then something like this is possible, bishop c5, dc5, and d6, crushing through the barricades. Takes here. So some sort of typical attack when the pieces are misplaced, I mean pieces of the opponent. So, Andrey, by the way, you didn't miss a checkmate in 1 last time. You missed a checkmate in 3, starting with knight f3, and you couldn't avoid it. Correct. Yes. That's the correct definition of what happened. Yeah, I missed the whole thing. Started with knight f3. You're absolutely right. That's true. That's fair to call it exactly like this. Let us continue. Yeah, just a quick note here, as I mentioned during the game. So somehow I didn't get anything out of the position, and here instead of playing knight to d7, I believe knight to h5 is correct. In that case, like if I play just like in a game, then after cd5, I don't know, ed5, bishop somewhere to f5 or d7 even is possible, right? Because your knight doesn't occupy that square. I don't have knight g3, I don't have f4 because you control that square. So it feels like a good version of knight or something. So the queen is hanging, says Whooper. No, knight on d7 is pinned. I mean, you probably mean this line, right? So here the knight on d7 is pinned with the bishop from f5. So everything is correct. So let's continue. And Duncan McConnicker. Accept. Duncan MacLeod is my name in this game. Here we are, princess of the universe. 92. I was a kid when this series were popular, at least in Ukraine. I'm not sure if it was popular anywhere else, but so let's play something straightforward here. Princess of the universe. Okay. So I have slightly better pieces here, I guess. A bit more active than the ones of my opponent. But yeah, the fact I played this too straightforwardly, yeah, gives black some good knights on e4, somewhat good. Dark squares are weak though, so probably I should maneuver my pieces towards bad squares. But how? That's a good question as well. All right, let's relocate a bit. Let's regroup our pieces. Let's relocate the rook. Let's try to do that at least. I want to bring it to h3 or something. Rook f6. Let's try this one. So for rook h6, I'm wondering if I can just take on e4, and after d takes e4, supposedly rook to g3. Is it a good idea for me? Maybe quite interesting. I can also just play rook to h3 instead of taking on e4, and then play g4, another attacking resource. Less clear though. So I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this one, but I'm gonna try it. So if rook takes h5, I just go back with the bishop, and this means I exchanged my not that great knight, which was on g3, for an amazing one on e4, right? It's definitely good for me. Yeah. So knight on h5 is protected with the queen on d1. g7 is under pressure, under attack. It's directly attacked. Yeah, this is forced. And that is exactly what I was not sure about. So now rook g5 is kind of forced. But then, hey, rook takes h5. No, rook h5, queen h5. Everything's fine. Everything's under control now. Yeah, let's play it. I don't see anything else. Strange position, right? That rook on h6 is misplaced, but my knight on h5 is kind of vulnerable. I don't know what is more important here. So let's just run away from here, because we still have time to do that. Now the knight is getting to d5, right? Yeah. So h4, h5 comes to mind, but f4 is our problem right now. So let's just go knight f1 for now and protect that pawn. The question is how. Yeah, like this. Let's just bring everything here to the king side. Let's focus on that side and just attack. Let's blockade e4 as well. All right, so everything bad is prevented, I guess. It's time to attack. Let's go. This way. Protecting h4 and intending g4. Let's just take here. That is a free pawn. That is what I call a free pawn. This cannot be good. There should be multiple ways to win. So f6 is one of them. Knight to g4 is another one. I don't know which one to choose. I can also just take on e6 and play f5. f6 also crushing. Well, let's play f6. Prom night. Was a pleasure to have you. All the best and see you Thursday. Hopefully. Opponent disconnected. Duncan MacLeod wins. Because Duncan MacLeod is me. Alright. So, probably the last one. Sergei Rachmaninov. 2800s. Oh my god. Have we played? Wow. I have a bad score against this guy. Have to be careful. Alright, let's try it. If I lose, it's just because I'm deadly tired. And that's true. I mean, I'm really tired already. It's quite late. But anyway, let's try to play a good game. What about b5? Now let's play it. Knight to e5. Okay, if we take on e5, it's happening. D takes e5 or something. I'm fine with that. I think it's a better pawn structure for black than for white. I don't see problems. I don't see problems here. That's probably a bad sign. Every time when I say something like that, the problems actually come. Yeah, let's play queen c7. To have b6 for the knight just in case. He's in the stage of finding excuses already. Yeah, sure, I'm finding excuses. But if you attend my shows often, you'll know that it's just, you know, just kidding. Because I don't need excuses. Everyone knows that I'm not that bad in chess in general. And if I miss something during Banter Blitz shows, it's not because, you know, I'm a bad player. Just because it's not so simple in general to deliver a show like this. Okay, 94. What's going on? Knight d6. Takes. I think it's okay for black. So maybe we can simply play c4 here already. Is it a bad idea to push that pawn? I guess it's fine. So now, what is the right way to handle this position? Just knight to b6, by the way. Why not just knight to b6? I guess it's okay if we simplify it a bit. Right? Everything looks protected here. If knight e6, we can take on... No, we cannot take on g2. This may be Yeah, not very pleasant then, this knight d6 move. Okay, I think I missed it. Oh, rook d8, okay. 96 was really interesting. Maybe white found something even more promising, but I thought knight d6 was great. We'll discuss it later. Alright, so what's going on here? Knight to g5 or something. Don't see a big problem in it, so let's just play h6 anyway, because yeah, maybe now knight g5 is not a big threat, but at some point I would like to, for example, move my bishop somewhere, and then knight g5 could have become a problem. So queen to c3, so can come back with the knight to d5. Does it give me anything? Not sure. Instead, I want to play this. So initially the knight b6, the idea behind this move was just to make this regrouping. Bishop here, then queen b7, attacking the knight on e4, controlling this long diagonal and stuff like that. So what if I just do it here? So knight on e4 is under attack, right? Could have played queen c6, which is probably a bit more accurate. But let's see. Oh, god damn it. It cannot be good for white. Look at this pawns. Triple schmipple. Okay, so how to win this game now? Just play a6, protecting b5 for now. bc4, knight c4, rook on d8 is protected. Okay, let's bring the rook to d3, I guess. It's an enormous positional advantage. I mean, it's so winning position for black. If I lose it for some reason, I'm just an idiot. No excuses this time. And I think I already missed missed something. Crazy. Okay. Let's just go here. If b takes c4, then rook takes a3. Okay. Maybe I'm still alive. I was afraid that I already missed something terribly after bishop d4. That's okay. I'm quite lucky here. Now let's take it, right? Queen is under attack. Now I guess b4 should be correct. But then c5. But then knight to b8 and knight to c6. Yeah. Should be right. Should be right. So connected passers. Knight blockading the pawn on c6. Again, if I'm not missing something terrible right now. Which is probably not the case. So once my knight is on c6, I feel very comfortable. Then I will just push my connected passers. And white's pawns are all stuck here. Yeah. Just b3 or something? Yeah, let's do it. So what is our next target? Here, e5 or c5? Let's see. rook c2 first. If queen takes, pawn takes, rook takes b7, c1. No, let's just play this move. And take this one. Things are not so simple, but there should be something, right? So d4 is hanging. Literally everything is hanging here. Okay. e4 is our target, actually. Oops. Oh, shit. Okay. Fortunately, okay, I won on time, but position was also lost for white for many moves. Now. Yeah, so right after we got this pawn structure, I think it's clear that black is doing really well here. Yeah, but maybe rook d3 was not the best choice. Maybe I could have played something more. Why didn't I take on b3? I have no idea, actually. I don't understand. Why didn't I just take on b3, really? So you just take a pawn. The idea is to play knight to c4. Everything is just according to plan, right? Another idea is just to play knight to a4. So much better than this rook d3 with unclear consequences. I mean, look at this position. It's just terrible for white, right? So, okay. Thanks for watching this. It was not my best shape, of course, but at the very beginning of the show, I told you that, well, at least I have to come back to 2800s, and I actually did. 2801 was this last game. I managed to get back to this one. So next time, which is on Thursday, we're going to try to get to 2850 or 29. 29 is not realistic, but, well, we'll increase gradually. All right. Yeah. Hope you learned something from my annotations. I tried my best to share everything which was in my head during all of the games, and also, yeah, I tried to provide you with some analysis just as usual after each and every game. So if you did, I'm happy. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye-bye.